nervous. Welcome to Whitestown, Indiana. Tonight, we punch a ticket to Williamsport. It's the Great Lakes Region Final between Kentucky and Ohio. Just about 25 minutes north of downtown Indianapolis, these young men have been dreaming of this moment, and they're one step away from the biggest stage of this sport.
Williamsport. This time of year, it's the most magical place on earth. Where moments produce history.
Monet Mania.
Everyone knows the name in the Little League World Series.
Kids become superheroes.
Louis Laffey does it again on a walk-off home run.
And dreams come true.
Toms River, New Jersey win the Little League World Series.
Oh my goodness! What a catch! Gone!
That's how you break out of that slump.
Man, do I love Little League Baseball.
The ride starts now.
Goosebumps watching that tease. Cannot wait for that to start on August 19th. Tonight, it's all about handling the task in front of them. The state champs from LaGrange, Kentucky, representing North Oldham Little League against a perennial power in this region. Hamilton Westside Little League last made it to Williamsport in 2021, trying to get back in 2026. Mr. Brad's Cheeseburgers, that's been a star of the show this week for Kentucky. This is a rematch of a game that Kentucky lost just a couple of nights ago, 11-4. But they had many chances. They were 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position against Ohio in that game. They knock a few more runs in. Maybe that's a closer game than the score would indicate. Hi again, everybody. Matt Schumacher alongside the former big leaguer Chris Burke with you. There's going to be some stars in this game. One of them is Boone Treadway. He's going to pitch. He's going to hit. He's going to do it all for this Ohio team that has just dominated Berkey up to this point.
Yeah, they certainly looked apart. An Ohio team that looks poised to get back to Williamsport for the first time since 2021. But it's a Kentucky team that showed us some flair for the dramatic. Last time they were out, the big late grand slam. And they're going to send their best athlete to the mound in Tanner Seaman. So we got a great matchup here tonight.
Ace versus ace is what you want with a championship on the line and a trip to Williamsport just one win away. Will be very interesting to see if Kentucky could change the tide against an Ohio team that has had historic dominance, really, when you look at the last 10 years of regional play across the country.
Yeah, no, I mean, they have been blowing teams out here, scoring 10-plus runs in 3 games in a row. The first team to do that since 2015. You look at the run differential, 32-8, and Xavier Kincaid has been the star of this lineup. There's a lot of really good hitters. Kincaid's been the best, 5 for 7 with a couple large ones.
Xander Kincaid, one of a couple of big boppers in this Ohio lineup, which has produced 32 runs over their first 3 games. Just finished 6th grade at Creekside Middle School. A rising 7th grader like so many of the youngsters in this field. And he will take on a Kentucky team representing North Oldham that has just once made it to Williamsport. Can they do the unthinkable and do it again in 2026? regions being played this week here in Whitestown, featuring a handful of teams. Bay City, Michigan, Hamilton, Ohio, LaGrange, Kentucky, Jasper, Indiana, and Burbank, Illinois. The 5 making up the Great Lakes region. Moments ago, Ken Coomer, who's been coaching Little League ball for 33 years, getting his ace, Boone Treadway, ready in the pen.
Curveball. Remember, smooth. Yep. Don't try to overthrow it. Fastball outside corner. Man, that's good. You're getting good at that pitch. You get more comfortable with it?
Yeah.
Fastball.
So far, Boone Treadway has thrown 3 innings over 2 appearances, no runs, 6 strikeouts. He will take on a Kentucky offense that will try to disrupt him tonight. That is Boone Treadway's father. Pitched collegiately, always stands in center field. And Boone, when he makes a big hit, always points out to his dad in center field. Here's the starting batting order for LaGrange, Kentucky. If you are new to Little League Baseball, every rostered player will hit in a continuous batting order. And this team from LaGrange has hit nearly 300 over their first 3 games, scoring 24 runs. Coming off a comeback victory over Indiana by a score of 8-5 on Tuesday night. And a strike to open the game for Boone Treadway.
I expect to see a lot of strikes from both these guys tonight. Typically, they both would start at shortstop for their respective clubs, but tonight they're doubling as their aces. And you're going to see a fastball breaking ball from both these kids. And again, command will be the key. They can both change speeds and manipulate the fastball. I think we're in for a good one here tonight on the mound.
3-pitch strikeout of one of the most productive hitters in the region this week, Corbin Phillips, down for the first out of the inning.
Well, that was sharp. Couple heaters with a breaking ball mixed in there. Love the elevated fastball after getting a swing and miss. And one thing Boone Treadway will show you is emotion. A big fist bump after that strikeout.
Chopper to third, bobbled by McAdams, gathers and fires. 2 quick outs. Boone just has a little bit of that it.
Yes, he does. Yeah, you can see why they went with him. They have harder throwers, specifically their first baseman, Josiah Infante, but this is the one they trust the most in a moment like this.
Here is Easton Craig, who pitched a 7-hour complete game the other night in the win against Indiana. That's right, 7 hours. We had 5 hours and change of weather delays. Popped up right side and caught in a colliding effort in right field by Bob Frazier. Whoa! Everybody seems to be okay. An eventful 1-2-3 inning.
Come on, man, we're playing a championship game. We need championship effort. Bobby Frazier putting his body on the line here. No concern for this collision. Hangs on to the baseball. A 1-2-3, top of the first.
Westside Little League in Hamilton, Ohio, a little over a 2-hour drive to Whitestown, Indiana. And those folks have made it often in recent years. They've been here 16 times in the last 2 decades. 4 times Tim Nichtien, their manager, has been to the World Series, including back in 2021. And they had the best tasting water in the world in 2010. How about that?
Okay, and Joe Nuxhall, who I believe this is correct, is the youngest player in the history of Major League Baseball. I think that's correct. I think he started a game at 15 years old or something crazy like that, and was the longtime voice of the Reds along with Marty Brennaman. Or was it Tom? Marty.
15 years, 316 days old.
There it is. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben Ward. Made his debut in 1944. I have a feeling World War II had something to do.
Yes, but still, 15 years old, toeing the rubber in the big leagues. That'll get you
juiced up.
Remembered. Yes.
Sounds like the movie Rookie of the Year.
Speaking of juiced up, how about this Hamilton, Ohio batting order? Treadway, Feltner, Williams, Infante, and Kincaid. You better have your ducks in a row and be commanding the baseball to get through the top half of this batting order. Again, I think we're going to see a lot of similarities between the 2 right-handers that are going against each other. Tanner Seaman, whose twin will be catching him tonight. How cool is that? The Tan Man gets the ball for the boys from LaGrange. I didn't come up with that. That's his nickname.
I thought you did. I was going to give you kudos.
No.
Boone Treadway leads it off. He has been a menace at the plate for Ohio. All 3 of his hits in the regional have gone for extra bases, including a home run.
Yeah, he had the hit in this last game that really kind of spurred them on to victory right when the game was still very much in doubt.
Father Brian always stands in center field. Pitched at UNC Charlotte, was a 3rd-round pick in the Major League Baseball draft. And is now a state champion head coach at Baden High School in Hamilton, Ohio. Their first state title in 30 years. Been a big spring and summer in the Treadway house. Looping line drive drops for a leadoff single for Boone Treadway.
Well, Seaman comes back with a couple fastballs to get it to full, and Treadway's not going to let that one slide by. A very polished hitter with a smooth stroke, and here comes Ohio with a leadoff base runner.
Leo Feltner, Ohio's youngest but most consistent hitter.
Put together too now, just 11 years old, 120 pounds. We saw him put on a show the other day at third base, gets a chance to play shortstop tonight while Treadway is pitching. Very bright future ahead for this young man.
Feltner has scored in 2 of Ohio's 3 wins. Beat Michigan 10-4, beat Indiana 11-zip. And then beat this Kentucky team 11-4 on Monday. And Leo Feltner had a 2-run double in that game. 3-1 is popped to shallow right, charging in and letting it drop is Sawyer Dennison. Now he was staring right into the setting sun. You wonder if that may have Made him hesitate a bit there, Berkey, at the very end. He had to come a long way.
Yeah, I think he's got some sun. He's also playing really deep. Look how deep he is out there, Matty. So not only does he start from a pretty far back position, but he's got a long way to run, doesn't get a great jump, and nice job by Treadway there of making sure that ball doesn't get caught before he retreats back to the base. And boy, is this a dream start here for Ohio.
Bryson Williams, hard hit bunt. That was fielded in foul territory, and it will be indeed called a foul ball.
Well, it was close. Love the idea right there. If he gets that a little more to the first baseman's right, he's got a real chance to beat it out. And of course, at the worst, you end up with second and third and one out. That ball wasn't fouled by much.
Offered at that, 0-2. Since the regional began, he has been one of the more dangerous bats of any of the 5 Great Lakes teams. Has hit .667 with 3 ribbies.
Good take right there. Same breaking ball he just bunted right through. Seaman starting to get a feel for that pitch. That's exactly where you want to land that one in an 0-2 count.
Williams takes, levels the count at 2 apiece after falling behind early 0-2. Great speed for Williams at the top of their order. Hard hit to short, fielded by Phillips. Do they turn 2? Yes, with the stretch by Wyatt Husband. And that is a tough young man to turn 2 on with the speed of Williams.
Man, you got to give it up for the North Oldham Little League defense right here. A ball that's hit hard, that's the only way you're going to turn it. Phillips rips it to Barry, who makes as quick a turn as you will see in Little League baseball. And that is a big-time 6-4-3 double play.
Now the big man, Josiah Infante, takes a ball.
Talking to one of the North Oldham coaches today, Matthew Teague, and he said, what I love the most about Tanner Seaman is he is a dog. Like, you will not see him back down against any of these big Ohio hitters. And if that doesn't show you, I don't know what will. Goes in on the first pitch. Hang on.
Oh boy, Infante to deep left. Goodbye! 2-run ball for the big boy. And a 2-0 lead for Ohio.
Okay.
4th home run of the tournament for Ohio, 1st for Infante.
So check this out. He buzzes the tower a little bit here with a heater in, and Infante's like, all right, I guess this dude's going to challenge me. And he gets a second pitch that's just a little more over the plate. And when he gets the second pitch, he's talking about it right now. My eyes were already on the inner part of the plate. This one's more over the middle, and that is a good old-fashioned no-doubter right there into the lake beyond the left field wall.
Big high five for Ken Coomer, who coached alongside Tim Nichtine last year in the regional final. They were upset by Illinois. A 2-out double for Xander Kincaid. Boy, is he fast around that first base bag.
And he just putting on a show here all week in Wrightstown. Now 6 for 8. He's got a couple homers, and he has just been red hot. Now, a double to his tally, and he runs right in the face of Easton Craig and makes it by half a step.
Here is Bob Frazier, who, remember, made that unbelievable catch in foul territory to end the top of the first. Has a chance to tack on an extra run here with 2 down and a runner in scoring position.
Bob Frazier, the rare lefty thrower, righty hitter. The most famous one of those is Rickey Henderson.
Pretty good count.
Yeah. It's crazy how few major leaguers have been lefty thrower, righty hitters.
Frazier, one of 2 returners from last year's team, alongside Boone Treadway. They were 11-year-olds last year, playing a year up. And they were left with an emptiness last year after losing the regional final. After a very similar run to the regional final last year, Berkey, dominant as well.
Let's see what Matthew Teague has to say to his ace.
Good, nobody better. Hey, just give me a ground ball. Get out of it. Got it? Hey, let's go. Pound the zone. Pound the zone.
Well, we were talking about how he's not afraid of anybody, and we've seen how much he's pitched in already. And they don't expect him to be deterred by a little early adversity. However, 4 hits in the first has been a pretty loud start here for the boys from Hamilton.
There is Jack McAdams. McAdams, one of the newbies to Westside Little League this year. His first Little League at bat this season, home run. Pretty good way to start your career.
Good way to make a statement.
1-1 pitch. Good eye from McAdams. Ohio, of course, reached the World Series in 2021 in a year that they allowed runners-up in regional finals to make it to the World Series. They haven't actually won a regional final since 2010. Trying to make some history here tonight. Popped in foul territory. Diving effort is just short from Wyatt Husband.
And that gives you some knuckles from the opposing coach right there. Love it. Mom and Dad might not be happy, whoever's doing the laundry, but you know, he's a farmer. He's not afraid of getting in the dirt. Not afraid to get in the mud.
Can drive all the tractors and the combines on Mom and Dad's farm in LaGrange, Kentucky. Also, the laundry can wait because tonight is the last game, regardless of a win or a loss. You win, you go to Williamsport. And you get a new uniform.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, you retire the local, and as we said, he's not afraid to get his hands dirty. Mom and Dad are farmers.
Christian West raised a tough sucker. This is a beautiful piece of hitting by Jack McAdams, and he scores Xander Kincaid from second base. 3-0 Ohio, and they're doing it with 2 outs in the first.
5 hits and 3 runs here in the first, and the crowd is into it. They are playing really fast and aggressive on the bases. Not exactly a rocket, kind of off the knuckles, but just enough to get into right center field. Ohio tacks on another one, and they've got yet another runner in scoring position.
Connor Seaman just needed to get his earpiece back in correctly so he could get the pitch calls from inside the Kentucky dugout. Walker Osborne, runners at the corners. They cut the throw, and retreating back to first, McAdams. Last game we watched between Iowa and Missouri, Iowa twice stole home on a double steal.
Well, here you get a little first and third. Like this, it's surprising. We've seen some teams really take advantage of first and third opportunities, and some teams not be aggressive at all. But you know, we talked about how hard it is on the defense when you try to force them to make a decision.
2-0. Osborne taking all the way. Parents in attendance. He's been a big piece to this Ohio team's run to the regional. Pitched in the state championship game. Also led off the final inning with a hit and scored the game-tying run. This team from Westside Little League in Hamilton was this close to not even making it here.
Hard to believe.
And a 2-out walk loads the bases. Really is hard to believe how dominant they've been since arriving in Whitestown.
Well, we see that some throughout the tournament. You get a state that has a year where there's 2 or 3 crazy competitive teams in a state that could all maybe come here to Whitestown and win the region, but it doesn't quite work that way.
The lefty Finn Dykes takes a strike.
Boy, this is a big out for Tanner Seaman. Like they need this out to minimize the damage and stay in this ball game early.
Oh boy, Dykes, deep right, will roll to the wall. 1 run is in. Here comes a second. A bases clearing triple for Finn Dykes.
Wow. What a first inning for Hamilton Westside. I mean, it has been a laser show. They have taken advantage of every opportunity they've gotten. This right here by Finn Dykes is just a rocket down the right field line. A 6th spot in the first, Matty. How about this for energy? We talk about Boone Treadway and his energy.
Roller to third. Hodges pads, fires, and completes the final out. A 6-run first, all with 2 outs. Led by Josiah Infantes. 2 RBI bomb to left field. And it got the party started for Hamilton Westside Little League. A trip to Williamsport on the line. They have a 6-run lead. Affectionately known as Big Boy by Ken Coomer. 6 foot 185 and a sweet swing from Josiah Infante to ignite a 6-run first.
Yeah, Big Boy hit a large boy over the left field wall. Already probably about a major league average size player, 6 foot 185. There's been plenty of Hall of Famers at that size, including some great hitters. How about George Brett, Barry Larkin, Paul Molitor, and Infante's 12th.
Yeah. Just a minor footnote. All right, what kind of a response will we get here from Kentucky? Which was set down 1-2-3 by Boone Treadway in a 6-pitch first inning. Henry Baker has so far led Kentucky with an .800 batting average in regional play. Down to the count 0-2.
One thing about Boone Treadway is you give him a lead, and he's such a excellent strike thrower. This North Oldham Little League team, they're going to have to earn their way back into this ball game with a bunch of hits.
Chopper to third. McAdams makes the play, 1 down.
A solid defense and a strike thrower is a good formula for an early lead.
Well, you think back to Murky, to their second game of the tournament. They jumped on Indiana, ended up winning that game 11-0. Treadway was part of a 3-pitcher combined no-hitter against an Indiana team that gave Kentucky all they could handle and more the other night. There's Wyatt Husband with the 0-1.
I'm digging the mud on Wyatt Husband's uniform. Like, there's too much turf in youth baseball these days. I'm a sucker
dirty.
For good old dirty uni.
Yeah. That's a worn jersey.
Yes.
Right, rolled to second. Fielded by Osborne. 2 quick outs.
Lincoln Slater.
Such a big deal for this North Oldham Little League team to be here. It's a community that is baseball obsessed. They have roughly 750 kids involved in Little League baseball in LaGrange. And most of the guys on this team have been together since they were 6 or 7 years old, dreaming of this potential opportunity. 0-2 to Lincoln Schleter.
They made a heck of a run to get to this point. There's not a lot of groups that set out a goal and get all the way to the peak of that goal the way this Kentucky group has done it. One big mountain to climb here, and they've made it a little bit steeper climb here with the start they've gotten off to. But they showed us yesterday they're capable of magical comebacks.
Have had to show resilience all the way through, dating all the way back to pool play in their district tournament. Gonna be tough tonight against Boone Treadway. His second strikeout has set down the first 6 he has faced.
Boone is locked in, folks. 6 up, 6 down. Continues to climb the ladder with the gas. All Ohio here early.
Welcome back to Whitestown. Big beginnings in Great Lakes regional games for Ohio. 10 runs on 4 hits in the second inning against Indiana. And they scored 9 runs on 6 hits against Kentucky in the second inning just the other day. Already put up 6 runs against Kentucky on 6 hits tonight in the first inning. Oh, by the way, all of those runs came with 2 outs. And the top of the order, which did most of the damage early in the first, is looming. Caden Trent leads it off in the 11th spot, then Hudson Vonderheide before Boone Treadway will bat third.
Nice start there from Tanner Seaman, just right at Caden Trent, filling up the zone. A couple good fastballs.
Fly ball to shallow center, drifting in and making the catch is Henry Baker. Don't miss AL West Division action tonight when the Texas Rangers take on the Los Angeles Angels. 10 Eastern on ESPN. Jock Peterson has 13 home runs since June 22nd. That's tied for 4th in the major leagues.
To me, that's about Trout and baby Trout, which is Wyatt Langford. I'm a big Wyatt Langford fan.
One count to Hudson Vonderheide. Vonderheide pops to short. 2 outs.
Well, this is the way you want to face the top of the order. 2 outs and nobody on. And the North Oldham crowd getting into it a little bit.
Boone Treadway singled and scored in the first. One of 2 returners from last year's team. Playing with a group of kids that is like North Oldham Little League, been together for a number of years. Coached by Chris Hilton, one of the assistants this year. But you know, when you're playing 12 youth majors, if it's for Westside Little League, Tim Nichtine and Ken Coomer, one of those 2 is going to manage.
Oh, yeah. They are always leading the charge.
Tim Nichtine's been doing it 43 years. Standing over at third base. Has been to the World Series 4 times, dating back to 1991. Mile high pop up right side, could be trouble. Oh, yeah! Wyatt Husband sliding over the shoulder in foul territory. That'll get you juiced up.
Getting dirty again.
3 inning for Kentucky.
We told you he likes getting in the mud, in the grass. This time showing some serious athleticism and coordination. This is not an easy play for a first baseman running away with his back to the infield. Yes, sir.
Chris Burke down there, a little YMCA.
We are not lacking for passion tonight. The crowd is into it.
Always a festive atmosphere at the Little League World Series Regional. Winner of this game advances to Williamsport. Chris Burke will be there. It all starts August 19th on ESPN and ABC. Boone Treadway hoping to get Ohio there. For the first time since 2021, delivers a strike to Ethan Hodges, opening the third. I have a feeling if the score holds and Ohio does punch a ticket to Pennsylvania, Boone Treadway is going to be a name America comes to learn quickly.
17-3 strike to ball ratio will work.
Good day for efficiency. There's his third strikeout. What impresses you most about him? Is it his hitting, is it his pitching, and then what specifically in those two aspects?
The answer would be yes. Well, on the pitching side of things, you can just tell the mechanics are so clean and repeatable that he can pretty much do whatever he wants to with the baseball. You can tell he's been coached very well, and he's just a super athletic kid. He pitches exactly the way you would expect a star shortstop to pitch at the Little League level. And then offensively, I've just been impressed by his power. Not the biggest kid, but we've seen him run a ball out of here. We've seen him hit a couple gap shots as well. And then you can just tell he loves to play. Like, obviously, his dad's a coach. He comes from a baseball family, but that doesn't necessarily mean the kid is going to love it. But you just see the energy and passion with which he plays, and you know that when you put that together with the talent, well, he's got a chance to play for a while.
His dad played 5 years of professional baseball, making it as high as Double-A. And now, as we mentioned, coaching Baden High School in Hamilton, Ohio. Won a state title this past year. Boone, of course, won the state title at 12U just a couple of weeks ago. It's been an eventful year in the Treadway household. 0-2 count here to Wyatt Burkhart. Learning to pitch from a former third rounder is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, that's an advantage. There's no question. You see it a lot in baseball. Baseball is such a highly skilled sport that it certainly is helpful. If your pops played it at a high level, there's just a lot of detail that he can offer that maybe you can't get other places.
2 gone for Braxton Anderson.
Well, as fired up as Boone gets, Pops doesn't.
Even keel.
I feel like it's the same uni every night, all black, right? Just like the team. And arms crossed, very stoic.
Years ago, Brian had another son, Brooks, who played in this regional. That was back in 2019. Boone's older brother. They were state champs from Hamilton Westside Little League. Boone was just a little whippersnapper back then. No emotion. There it is. From Brian Treadway. His son strikes out the side.
That is now 5 Ks on the day, 4 Ks in a row, and 3 in this inning. The bender is gnarly. The fastball command is on point. And we know the energy is always rolling.
voice of sports paradise. Hammered. God!
Up and out of Williamsport.
Are you kidding me? Lay out like a superhero.
Great baseball ahead. Here we go.
Great baseball indeed. I know you're looking forward to getting back to Williamsport.
It's a neat place, man. I likened it last year. There's some Augusta National vibes, you know, because it has a very much a place, time forgot kind of feel to it. It's the same location, the same year. You know what to expect. It's a really neat event that if you love sports, you should try to get to it.
Can you bring cell phones into the stadium?
I do think you can bring cell phones. I didn't say it was exactly like
No, but you saying a place time forgot,
Yeah.
I immediately start thinking.
Yeah, no, good call.
That could be cool.
You could bring it up.
We'll table that for next year.
I think they like the Soch.
They might, yeah. Speaking of social media,
Yes.
you can find Little League on Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. The official handle is @LittleLeague. Don't forget to use the hashtag LLWS. Here's Leo Feltner. I guess if you didn't bring your phones in, we wouldn't get all those viral videos of the butt slides down, the burn, center field.
Now you're thinking clearly.
Yeah, I'm thinking clearly. I wish time would forget about me for a second. Here's the 1-2 to Feltner in the dirt. Ohio jumped on Kentucky. If you're just joining us in the first inning, 6 runs on 6 hits, all 6 runs coming with 2 outs. 2-2 from Seaman. In the dirt for a ball, and the leadoff man is aboard for the 2nd time tonight.
Well, 3, 4, and 5 in this lineup are tough enough to deal with without free passes to get it going, but that's exactly what's happened here to Tanner Seaman, and now, boy, does he have his hands full here to try to get through Williams, Infante, and Kincaid.
Kentucky's thinking double play. They turned one on Bryson Williams last time at the plate. He is one tough kid to turn 2 on.
He might go 5 years without hitting another double play. But that was, I mean, who'd have thought, right? It was 2 outs and nobody on at that point in time. Or excuse me, I guess they had a runner on 3rd and 2 outs after that.
Pop up, shallow center, and at short it's Phillips calling off Berry.
Here we go again.
How do you pitch, or do you pitch Josiah Infante here?
Well, you have to. I mean, Kincaid's the hottest hitter on the planet, so I'm putting pretty good odds on a first pitch breaking ball right here. I would say that's a good place to start.
He rolls it to short. Phillips, long throw, and a good stretch by Husband. 2 gone as Feltner moves into scoring position.
And that was exactly what Tanner Seaman did. Spin a breaking ball, get him out in front. Big fella might learn that as he gets a little bit older. When you launch one, you know, what felt like about 400 feet in left center field, the next at bat, they might spin you a breaking ball.
Xander Kincaid swings at a breaking ball. You're right, he has been one of the hottest hitters in America, regardless of the level. He's been on base in 8 straight plate appearances, including a double back in the 1st. Tips that foul.
Okay, so breaking ball, you've made him look uncomfortable. If you're gonna throw a fastball, either throw it nose high or a foot off the plate and then go right back to the breaking ball, or just bounce it right here and don't even mess around. Okay, there's the fastball off the plate. I can dig it. Now go back to that breaking ball. You Got to get it down, though.
1-2. Got it down, but Kincaid didn't.
Yeah, the heater. Yeah, down and away with the heater. A little surprise there. Again, I love the faith he has in his command to get that thing off the plate, but here comes the breaking ball.
Kincaid spoils.
Feels like you can get a swing and miss here if you make your pitch. It's just, he's so hot right now. If you don't get your best breaking ball off, he could launch one in the gap in a heartbeat on you.
In the dirt, full count. Bob Frazier awaits on deck. And he too has swung a good bat in this tournament for Ohio. Won't get to him. Big strikeout for Tanner Seaman. Back-to-back scoreless innings for the Kentucky Ace.
Caught him looking. Fastball right down Broadway. Kincaid looking for a breaking ball. Seaman back-to-back zeros.
Guys, it's a heck of an environment here in Whitestown, Indiana, and the Kentucky faithful are thinking, yes, you can mount a 6-run comeback. How do you do it, Berkey, against a guy that's been so locked in Boone Treadway, has not allowed a base runner yet?
Well, it's not going to be with the old fake bunt take. I don't think that's going to rattle Boone Treadway. Again, I mean, I think I said it last inning, like you're going to have to earn your way back in this ball game. I don't think the Ohio defense is going to blink, and I certainly don't think Boone Treadway is going to gift wrap many free passes, if any.
He has thrown 31 pitches. Oh, there's your free pass. Just the 6th time a pitch is left the strike zone. And the first base runner is aboard for Kentucky.
You've never seen a group of moms cheer louder for a hit by pitch than right there.
All it takes is one, Berkey, to get the rally started.
This is our guy who's a wrestler. And we saw him take an HPP yesterday, get fired up about it. Look at him.
He is the twin brother of Tanner Seaman. Connor, really tough behind the plate. He's been impressive blocking and receiving this week.
Come on, Bo, put it in there.
Oh, yeah.
State level wrestler.
Yes.
Sawyer Dennison is going to try to do something with a base runner here. Nobody out. Trailing by 6. They play 6-inning games in Little League. So we are into the latter innings here in Whitestown.
Yeah, it gets late early.
It does. And if you're going to make a run, it feels like for Kentucky, it's got to start here.
Well, and Treadway's been so efficient, there's a chance the top of your order only comes up one more time.
Yeah.
The way he's rolling through them.
1-2. Treadway bends in a strikeout. 6 for Boone Treadway.
You can see him cup that right wrist and just hook that breaking ball. That's why they call it the old Uncle Charlie. He gets it right on top of that thing and just rips it to the outside edge.
Here is Joel McCone Jr. He enjoyed some of the great publicity that this North Oldham Little League team from LaGrange, Kentucky experienced prior to coming to the regional. Went on a radio show before coming up here to Indiana. Nicknamed Cap. Captain America shortened down to those 3 letters. One of the leaders of this group.
Yeah, plays with some fire.
All right, now, Boone, join me here.
And
Come
has
on, put it in there.
done a nice job for them with the bat this week.
He has worked the first 2-ball count of the night against Boone Treadway.
Come again?
Yeah, you heard me right, partner.
Yeah, Boone Treadway has been every bit as good as advertised here this evening. He just attacking the strike zone with 2 quality pitches. And just very difficult to settle into a comfortable count.
2-2. Full count to Treadway from Treadway.
All right, now, one more. Let's go here. Let's go.
Might we see the second free pass of the inning? No, sir. Back-to-back Ks. Number 7 for Boone.
And you knew after he hit the guy early in the inning that he was going to try to stay away. And that fastball down and on the outside edge goes his way. Doesn't look like the North Oldham. Oh boy.
Matthew Teague has been ejected from the game by home plate umpire Sean Simpson. Sean Simpson warned him about coming closer to the batter's box. He did not agree, it appeared, Berkey, with that strike call. And so Matthew Teague will be replaced as the first base coach by Wyatt Husband.
Volunteers and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Thank you.
Sean Simpson gave him a very clear warning, and unfortunately Matthew Teague did not stop after the warning, and it is what it is.
So Wyatt Husband takes over as the first base coach. Cooper Berry, the manager's son. I beg your pardon, that is Wyatt Burkhart as the first base coach. This is sent into left. And the first hit of the night for Kentucky.
get the crowd to their feet. The manager's son all fired up. The crowd's fired up. The first line drop of the night.
Big grin over there at first base for Cooper Berry.
That's fun.
Now the top of the order here, Berkey, with 2 outs and 2 on. Corbin Phillips. Phillips lines it into the mitt of Jack McAdams. Treadway strands 2. We go to the home half. Ohio maintaining a 6-0 lead. Great crowd on hand tonight in Whitestown, Indiana. The All-Stars from Hamilton Westside Little League with a commanding 6-0 lead. Bob Frazier will lead it off for the Ohio State champs. They've been here 16 out of the last 20 years. Trying to get back to the Williamsport tournament for the first time since 2021. With a win tonight, they will punch their ticket to Pennsylvania.
Well, you got to give Tanner Seaman a whole bunch of credit, man. He is hung in there. He took a big-time punch in the first, and he's still standing out there ripping strikes.
Roller to third. Frazier beats it out. Well, your child can experience the teamwork and fun of Little League baseball or softball. Just visit playlittleleague.org, enter your address, find a Little League community program near you. Makes you wonder a little bit too, Berkey, doesn't it? If he just is able to get out of that inning that just felt to spiral a little bit with 2 outs. This might be a totally different game, considering he's held serve the last 2 innings.
No question. We started the game thinking we were going to get this kind of Tanner Seaman, and again, it just a couple mistakes to the wrong kids to start the ball game, but he has been rock solid since.
6 runs scored in the first, none since. In steps Walker Osborne with a man on and 1 down.
Second baseman 13, Walker Osborne.
North Oldham coaching staff told us this kid is a dog.
You always say it. If you're facing a good pitcher, you might only have one chance to jump on him, and it usually comes early. And if you don't take advantage of it, you might not get another opportunity. To Ohio's credit, they took advantage of the opportunity.
They did. Seaman, just the command wasn't great in the first. A lot of pitches in the heart of the plate. And boy, did they make him pay. Now you start to look at it with Seaman up to 78 pitches. He might not have enough to get through this inning. Certainly could with an out already retired.
Gets a strikeout. That'll help.
Yeah.
2 down.
Good front door breaking ball right there. Walker Osborne thought that was a heater destined for his ear hole, and then this thing takes a left turn at home plate. Locks him up, and a big second out right there.
85 is the pitch limit. He's at 79 facing Finn Dykes. Misses low. Nearing that 85 number with a strike there to make it a 2-1 count on Finn Dykes. Frazier over at first, 2 down in the 4th.
I love to see young people face adversity and not blink.
Overcome it.
I mean, to me, it's when it's all said and done, it's what youth sports is all about.
Slow roller to short, and Dykes cannot beat it out. Really nice stretch there by Wyatt Husband. Seaman holding Ohio scoreless over the last 3. And these kids are ready for football, man. Monday Night Football on ESPN resumes very soon. And, of course, we will have the Super Bowl this year.
How about it?
Joe, Troy, and the gang. If there's one thing you can always guarantee about the state of Ohio is that they love their football.
No question. I was a little surprised to hear Boone Tradeway's favorite athlete was Tom Brady, because, you know, the whole Michigan-Ohio thing.
Sure. But at the end of the day, it is Tom Brady.
It is.
He clearly, though, has not been fully initiated into the venom of that rivalry.
Right. Yeah, I don't know a ton of HIO people that are naming
any Michigan alum.
Yes.
as favorite anything.
Hey, now, that did it hit him?
I thought it hit off the catcher, Caden Trent. Now, Boone Treadway saying that it did hit Zach Hilton. And if it hit him in fair territory, that could be a problem for Hilton. Umpires are going to get together for this.
Seaman hits this thing right off his
Tanner
knuckles.
Seaman.
Yeah. And that thing, I think it hits him in the helmet. It hits him in fair territory, right? Which means he's out. Yeah, he's out.
Right there. Now, this could go to review.
I don't know that I've ever seen somebody hit with their own pop-up.
No, me neither. Time for everything.
I mean, I've seen guys hit with their own bunt. I don't think I've ever seen someone hit with their own pop-up. Now, that was one of the shorter pop-ups you'll ever see. But a pop-up nonetheless. Yeah, he's out. That's the right call.
They are going to take a peek at it. Coach's challenge here coming from Kentucky after the reversal on the field.
No, I think they said it was an umpire-initiated challenge. I think they want to make sure for themselves.
Okay.
This one won't take long.
Boone Treadway was all over it too. I mean, he made that universal signal as if to put on the headset and say, go review this, when it was initially called a foul ball. This is a young man with great baseball IQ. Right there, immediately says it hit him in fair territory. Go review this thing.
And you could see why home plate umpire Sean Simpson didn't see it. He was trying to find the ball himself.
Sure.
But I think DJ Rose, the crew chief there at first base, was right on top of it.
Call is confirmed. Tanner Seaman out. One down in the fifth.
What do we call that?
2 unassisted.
Okay.
For those of you scoring at home.
Okay. I learned something new today.
Thank you, Lee Torban. Easton Craig has one of my favorite stories of the tournament.
No question.
Pitched a 7-hour complete game the other night. And when Chris Berkey approached him about it, Berkey, what'd he say? Oh, didn't know that.
Can I just say that we almost just had 2 in a row where the runner hit the batted ball? Like, that was inches away from that. But yes, when I congratulated him on the first time I've ever called a 7-hour complete game, he looked at me as if he was unsure about it. Watch this. We almost get 2 in a row here, Matty. I mean, he stepped right over top of it.
There's another review that's been initiated here.
Around safe or out?
I believe, although that's not been confirmed for us yet. But what a great answer by Easton Craig.
Yeah, he looked at me like, oh, yeah, I guess I did pitch the whole day.
Like literally the whole day.
What are we reviewing?
Fair ball, no contact, and clearly out at first. So any element that might be being reviewed here, I think, would hold up.
Okay. Ohio's just getting their groove on, taking advantage of the free time. This is about the only way Boone Treadway can have a long inning.
That's right.
2 reviews.
Yeah. Still just the 1 hit allowed tonight for Treadway. No runs. It has been a 4-pitch inning so far, Berkey. But time-wise, with the reviews, look at all the youngsters in the crowd tonight. Brad's Burgers. There's Mr. Brad. He went viral earlier this week.
He even got a sign made for him tonight.
He sure did. I believe a conclusion has been made. And the out stands.
There it is. Mr. Brad's Cheeseburger, the real MVP. Apparently nobody's arguing that claim.
Fly ball, right field, foul territory, making the catch, Bob Frazier. A 5-pitch, Boone Treadway 5th. 6-zip, Ohio. Don't miss AL West Division action when the Texas Rangers take on the Los Angeles Angels. Postseason race heating up for the Rangers. Tonight, 10 Eastern on ESPN, and of course streaming on the ESPN app. Postseason race heating up for the Cubs too. A couple of Cubs fans in attendance tonight. Meanwhile, Corbin Phillips on the bump now for Kentucky, replacing Tanner Seaman, who really can keep his head held high tonight after keeping this Ohio offense scoreless the last 3 innings.
No, he took a punch and then just stuck his chest out and hung in there with the best of them. He's giving his team a chance. The problem is Boone Treadway's not really interested in playing along.
Zach Hilton leads it off for Ohio. His father, Chris Hilton, on the coaching staff. and played for Tim Nichtien in the 1991 World Series.
Nice play.
Really nice play. Hodges has been so good for Kentucky in the hot corner this week.
I'm a big fan of Ethan Hodges. He can really play the hot corner. We've seen him do a little bit of everything. Go to his left. We've seen a big arm. Now we see him charging and throwing on the run accurately. He's really, really done a nice job all week.
Caden Trent at the plate. Looks at a ball.
Come on, Juan, be a hitter.
Gary Teague out of the Kentucky dugout here.
I think we got technology issues.
Gary Teague has been coaching Little League for 30 years. In fact, his dad was the first president of North Oldham Little League back in 1962. Great coaching lineage on both sides tonight for Ohio and Kentucky.
Come on, Juan, hit.
Of course, Gary's son Matthew unfortunately had a quick exit in this game, but promising young coach.
Caden Trent, meanwhile, one out single. His first time aboard tonight.
It really is cool to see the legacy of these volunteer coaches being passed down.
And the Teagues don't have any kids on this.
Right on, it's beautiful.
Neither do Tim Nichtien and Ken Cook. They're just coaching because they love youth baseball.
Come on, Brady, hit it out of here.
Hudson Vonderheide. Ohio could make this interesting here. 4 runs in the bottom of the 5th would allow them to win this game by run rule. And the top of the order is looming with Boone Treadway. 2-1 pitch. Vonderheide dropped down a tough bunt, and he'll be safe at first without a throw. Can't do it any better than that.
Who says kids can't bunt anymore? That was spectacular. Juan Pierre would have been proud of that one. A perfect drag bunt down the third baseline. Kids, if you don't know, look him up.
He was the best.
He was an artist.
Boone Treadway has the ability to go yard. Digs in here. Another look at the bunt.
Yard of the drag bunt. Get it out in front, set the angle, deaden it, hit the top of the ball, hopefully towards the end of the bat, and you do that, you get a chance to get a whole bunch of bunt hits.
Treadway has homered in this tournament. A message from Tim Nichtien with an 0-2 count.
We've seen him do some good work with 2 strikes. It's time to dig in to go to work, I'm sure was the message from Tim Nichtien.
Potential game-winning run on deck in the form of Leo Feltner. 1-2 with 2 on and 1 down. 6-0 lead for Kentucky in the 5th.
Jake Phillips keeps messing around with those fastballs inside. He might find out what Boone Treadway's made of. But we've seen a lot of the personality of Boone Treadway already in this ball game. The presence, the competitiveness, the emotion, and of course the skill of Boone Treadway on the bump.
To match the emotions. One-two is ripped in and out of the glove of Hodges, who makes the tag as Caden Trent initially tried to scurry back to second base, not wanting to be doubled up. 1-2.
Well, this is darned if you do, darned if you don't right here. He doesn't want to get doubled up, so he stops, and then the ball comes out. And there's just not much you could do right there if you're a base runner.
In steps Leo Feltner. Ground ball eaten up again by Hodges, and it remains a 6-0 game. Kentucky goes to their final 3 outs. Middle of the order: Husband, Schleter, Hodges. Sun setting in Whitestown, Indiana. Gorgeous night after the Storms delayed baseball last night and earlier today. There has been no delay, however, for Boone Treadway. The Iowa team looking on after their comeback win today. They have punched their ticket to the Midwest Region Final on Friday, 1 Eastern on ESPN.
That should be a beauty.
Yes, it should be. They will play either Missouri or Wisconsin, who face off tomorrow.
And those 2 teams will get the pleasure of facing Cooper Tizzy.
There he is in attendance. Meanwhile, Treadway with his 8th strikeout. Now 2 outs away from punching a ticket to Williamsport.
54 pitches here in the 6th.
Already 2 tickets punched. Texas and Alabama, representing the Southwest and the Southeast, respectively, starting next week in Williamsport. Ohio has a chance to represent the Great Lakes.
All right, put it in there. Let's go.
Over to short. And on to first by Leo Feltner, 2 down.
Leo Feltner getting his crack at shortstop tonight because Boone Treadway's on the bump. He's going to be a very good one.
It is down to Ethan Hodges. A 56-pitch night for Boone Treadway. Just 12 balls thrown. His manager, Tim Nichtine, has been to the World Series 4 times before, including back in 2021. Dad Brian looking on from center field. Was at this regional in 2019 for older brother Brooks.
Come on, bring it down a little. Let's go.
And now Boone Treadway is one strike away from sending Hamilton Westside Little League, representing Ohio, and potentially representing the Great Lakes region, to Williamsport.
Come on.
1-2.
One hit, 60 pitches.
And he didn't allow a hit in 3 innings of work earlier in the tournament.
Cooper Berry is the lone knock, which, give it up for Coop.
Came at the bottom of the order for Kentucky. 2-2 pitch. Treadway sends Ohio to Williamsport. And he is being mobbed in the middle of the field here in Whitestown. Remember the name, America. Boone Treadway and Hamilton, Ohio. They figure to be a tough out in Williamsport next week.
They certainly have all the pieces. You had a feeling about this club all week long. There are a lot of zeros on that board. So congratulations to both sides. But the 6th spot in the first was all the boys from Hamilton Westside would need. Boone Treadway, of course, made it stick. What a performance by the star from Hamilton.
And congratulations to the team from Kentucky. This group from LaGrange has only been here twice since 2001. First time since 2011 that North Oldham Little League made it to the regional round, and it ends in the championship game.
Yeah, bummer for those kids. They had a magical summer, certainly worthy of playing in the championship game. Had a night to remember last night, a comeback they will never forget, but just not quite enough to stand up to this Ohio team that just kind of felt like it was meant to be for this club this year.
Certainly did. A dominant performance tonight, and all throughout the tournament, your Great Lakes region champs out of Hamilton Westside Little League, going back to Williamsport.
The big boy launches one. Treadway dominates on the bump. That's pretty much a winning formula for this Ohio club.
All 6 of their runs were scored with 2 outs in the first, and it started with that 2-run homer by Josiah Infante.
A no-doubter.
Absolute no-doubter.
The longest ball we've seen hit, fair ball.
Yeah.
Anthony Johnson Jr. hit the longest ball, but that's the longest fair ball we've seen here all week. And the big fella cashed in on what we anticipated to see from him, which is big-time light tower power.
Ticket punched for Ohio. Going to Williamsport. Pack up the caravan. Boone Treadway now joins us. Boone, first of all, congratulations on punching a ticket to Williamsport. You were here last year. You guys fell short in the championship game. How good does it feel to get some revenge here?
Feels amazing. I'm just glad to get to do it with this group of kids.
Boone, did you know in the bullpen, did you know in the first, at what point did you know you had your A+ stuff in this ball game?
Really from the beginning of the day. I mean, I felt great, and I knew my teammates had my back.
We're getting a look at your dad in the crowd right now, Brian. How instrumental has he been in teaching you some of the skill that you're putting on display on the rubber week in and week out?
I mean, he just tells me to go out there and throw strikes and let my defense work.
I noticed he taught you that breaking ball too. How long have you been throwing it? And did he teach you that?
He actually didn't. I've been throwing it for like a week now, and Ken Coomer has been working with me on that breaking ball.
I'll tell you what, my man, if you keep throwing that sucker, I'm not sure it's ever going to be hittable.
Thank you.
Tell us one thing about this team that America needs to know as you guys get ready to go play on the biggest stage in Williamsport.
We have a lot of energy, and we like to play baseball.
Boone, congratulations, brother. Go give them heck in Williamsport.
Thank you.
Incredible job, kid. Congrats.
Thank you.
Here's what it looked like today for Boone Treadway in the box and on the bump.
He did a little bit of everything for us today. First of all, the pitching was just insane. And I don't know about he learned the breaking ball last week, but let's just take him at his word. That's nuts. But we saw him just really mix and match both pitches, the breaking ball and the fastball coming out of the same window. And then he never gave him any hope, right? There was the one hit by pitch, but it was just a strike fest all day long. And Pop should be very proud because we all know there was a lot of work, a lot of car rides, a lot of bullpens that went into that performance today. To be at your best when your best is required, Boone Treadway certainly was that here this evening.
Ohio punches its ticket to Williamsport and now doing a lap around the Whitestown Stadium. Watch out for this group. Dominant in the Whitestown Regional. For Chris Burke, our entire ESPN crew, Matt Schumacher saying good night from Indiana. On the other side of the break, we'll send you to the studio.